Hey all, Matt here, Bobcat Bonsai, and today we're going to work on my Chinese red pine that I got in that little pre-bonsai starter kit. I just want to give you a look at how it looks now at this point. So I've been feeding a little bit of fertilizer and it's been in the greenhouse, and oh my gosh, check this out. So we just have buds popping everywhere on here. We're going to have to deal with some of these like Maltese shoots coming out all around it in a circle. Last thing I need is inverse taper forming on something that's already looking so good. I don't want to ruin it because of me being crazy. So we'll come in here and probably do some shaping, probably take off a few buds, definitely get rid of these long needles. I'm not going to pluck them or anything, I'm actually just going to cut them back. So let's get to it. Alright, so don't mind my extra wonderful little dog tray that this is sitting in because, well, I kind of just have so many trees in the greenhouse right now, and I haven't built enough benches that I have room to store everything. So this summer I'm gonna need to do some work on building some benches. I know a lot of people say our downtime's our winter season, but I guess I got distracted doing too much other random things and I didn't accomplish much. So I will have to deal with that come summertime. It'll be wonderful and I'll have a good time with it. So we are all good no matter what. I'll be happy and the tree will be happy and everybody will be happy. Sorry, I was grabbing a few pieces of wire. Alright, so for starters, this little guy is looking great, so I want to let that one go. This one, and I'm believing, I haven't really looked at the roots to figure out where my front's going to be, and it looks like the strong roots are all going to be pointing over in this direction, which means this should be my front. So that would mean I need to get this most likely as my first branch. So we'll have that going for us there. Or maybe I can bring this as my front. I mean, it's got a great bough coming towards us, but we wouldn't want to take it that way because we'd want to pull it more this way, so that this branch, and then bring it forward. So I think if anything, I'm going to keep this branch and lose this one, because this one, worst case scenario, I'll be able to pull and bring off to the side if I need to fill in on the side. So I'm just going to come in here and nip that little guy back. Then we're just going to come in here and cut off these long needles, because the long needles really are going to cause issues with the sunlight getting into the buds, and we don't want that, because if we have issues with the sunlight getting into the buds, that's where we run into bad internode spacing in pines. That was something I learned when I was at that conference with, well, it was a bonsai open house, but Suthin was there teaching about Shohin pines, and he said how during training it's very important to trim back the needles because it opens up for sunlight to get into your tree and the buds. That way the buds can grow healthy. So we're just going to trim these up a little bit so that our buds get good light, and we keep a small internode space, and I think everything will be great there. So I'm going to let that one go. My other thought, worst case scenario, is we can always use this as a sacrificial branch here and just grow it out to thicken the trunk. And again, I open this up so that all these little buds down through here can get some good light and take off and grow and be happy. That's all we want, is a happy tree. Happy, happy, happy. So this will end up being our front. I know it looks awful inside this pot right now, and it doesn't make much sense on why I would do this as a front. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little guys coming in here. So I think again I'm gonna just come in and take out this little one right here. So we got rid of that one. Now we still have one here and one there, right? Then we have one here and one there. So a lot of what I learned was take out the stronger ones and leave the smaller. So I guess I'm gonna leave this one and take out this big one here above it. Let me get it spun so that you have a good view here. So that one's out. Now we have this little one that's down below it, so we'll leave that one. Then we have, we have one right here, one right there, one right here, one right there. So we really need to sort this out. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in and nip that one right there and that one right there. So now looking at it from the front, we have one. We can pull this one for 2 or leave it back here, let this one grow. Then if this one grows and this one grows, we can actually just leave that as a sacrificial branch to swell, and that'll work out really good as well. So I'm happy with that decision here. We have one here, then we have this guy growing up. Worst case scenario, I'd bend this one to the back, bring this one down. And I don't think, honestly, I'm going to let it get too much taller than that. So for now, I'm just going to let this continue to grow just to kind of give a little bit of a taper. Maybe I'll just trim it up so it looks scoofy. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if it looks more like a tree or like a pine cone now. But that's opened up and airy. So I guess the question is, do I want to throw wire on it now or do I want to wait? And I think for the time being I will throw some wire on. So let me feed the wire up through the bottom a while and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so we fed the wire up through the bottom. We're just going to take now, just do a quick wrap here. And the sap is running really good in this guy right now, I will tell you that. And then we're just trying to avoid the needles and especially the buds as we continue to go around here. All right. So now we've got this initial wire on here, and is that enough to actually hold a bend? It actually is. Okay. Honestly, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting it to be enough to hold the bend. We are going to continue to let these all grow in an upward manner because that's the best way for them to get the sunlight to drop in there. I'm just going to come in here and just pluck some of these needles that are a little bit further back here. Alright, now on this side, same thing, just pluck a few of the further back needles here. In here, I'm not going to pluck anything yet because they haven't really grown out at all. So again, we've got this as the front. And that is looking pretty solid here. I haven't really decided what I want to do with this tree, so that makes things a tidbit tricky for me here. I was actually hoping to get some budding down lower in it, but we don't have that yet. So we'll take, for the time being, and just bring it down. And then back, and then from the back I'm just gonna come in and bring it back up again. So bring it up. So now just from that I was able to bring and actually move this one off to the side a little bit more. I'm trying to be really careful not to break anything off here. So I actually really like this. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I think that's going to be it right there. I know, it doesn't look like I did anything at all. But that's the front. This may be a side branch, may just be a helper to get it growing. This branch is most likely staying, but we may actually just run down to these two. And I believe that this one is popping right here. I think I'm going to end up keeping that as my new apex. Yeah, so that is the overall plan. Now, I think it's from here, we are just going to let it grow. Or do we transfer it to a bigger pot? If it's anything like the last one that I got that's in this kit, it has a really nice root base as it is. So at this point, I'm just working on growing more than I am anything else. So let me think about this here for a second, and I'll be right back with you. That was a real quick thought. Okay, so I thought about it for a second, and I picked it up, and I said, hey, you just wired this trunk to the bottom of this pot, so what's your plans now? Taking the wire off and redoing it all? And that is not my plan. So that's going to be it for the day. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, you should subscribe to my channel. And if you really enjoy my content, you should hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I release a new video. Thank you.